Digital Profile Making, submitted by Taslima Shams. Mary Curie. Mary Salomia Sklodowska Curie was a Polish physicist and chemist who conducted pioneering research on radioactivity. Mary Curie was born on November 7, 1867 in Warsaw, capital of Poland. She finished her studies on 1883. Marie Curie is famous for her work on radioactivity. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, the only woman to win in two fields, and the only person to win in multiple sciences. She was also the first woman to become a professor at the University of Paris. In 1891, she moved to Paris and earned her higher degrees and conducted her subsequent scientific work in Paris. In 1895, she married Pierre Curie, a fellow scientist. She and Pierre did extensive research on the recently discovered phenomenon of radioactivity. The discovery of radioactivity by Henry Becquerel in 1896 inspired the Curies in their brilliant researches and analyses which led to the isolation of polonium, named after the country of Mary's birth, Poland, and radium. For the work they did on radioactivity that led to the discovery of polonium and radium, Mary and Pierre Curie shared the 1903 Nobel Prize for Physics jointly with Henry Becquerel. She was the first woman ever to win a Nobel. On 19 April 1906, Pierre Curie was killed in a road accident when he was run over by a horse carriage. After Pierre died, Marie Curie was appointed to take over the professorship at the Sorbonne and to lecture in Pierre's place, the first woman to become a professor at Sorbonne. Marie Curie was devastated by her husband's death, but she accepted it, hoping to create a world-class laboratory as a tribute to Pierre. She was inspired by a statement Pierre had once made to her when he was ill. Whatever happens, even if you feel like a body that is deprived of its soul, it is our duty to continue to work despite everything. Taking courage from her husband's brave words, Mary put her grief behind her and continued her work on radioactivity. In 1910, Curie succeeded in gaining insight into the nature of the atom and finally isolating radium physically. She also defined an international standard for radioactive emissions that was eventually named after her and Pierre, the Curie. She won an unprecedented second Nobel Prize in 1911 in chemistry for her work on radium. She was the first person to win or share two Nobel Prizes. In 1914, she set up the Radium Institute, now known as the Curie Institute, in Paris, a radioactivity laboratory created for her by the Pasteur Institute and the University of Paris. During World War I, Curie realized the need for field radiological centers near the front lines to assist battlefield surgeons and developed mobile radiography units. After the war, she continued with her scientific work and also with setting up and establishing Radium Institute. She was honored by several countries and served on various international scientific committees. Due to her long-term exposure to radiation during her work, her health deteriorated and she died in 1934 due to aplastic anemia. Her first daughter, Irene Joliot Curie, also won a Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1935, the first mother and daughter Nobel Prize laureates. She is regarded as one of the most influential scientists of all time. Thank you.